So today's workflow is MiniMax H3, and it's built for low VRAM. I'm running it on 8 GB, and it does work on low VRAM. Let me walk you through it. The base model is MiniMax H3, the pruned INT8 build. That's about 21 GB. The text encoder is Qn3 VL32B, and the VAE is the MiniMax H3 Video VAE at FP16. Now, this model does video and audio in the same pass, so there's a second VAE just for the audio. That's the MiniMax H3 Audio VAE at FP32. Those 4 files are everything the workflow needs to run. Together, they come to about 42.5 GB on disk. Then we have MiniMax H3 Sigma Shift. The first value is Shift Video, that one's for the video. The second is Shift Audio, and that's for the audio. It's set to 12 and 3 here. The more you increase Shift Video, the more motion you get, but it can get chaotic and it can start morphing. So 12 is the sweet spot. One thing to be clear about, 12 and 3 are already the model's built-in defaults. You can drag it and set it to whatever works best for you, but 12 would be my pick. And for Shift Audio, you don't need to change it. Leaving it as it is will be the best. This is the node where you upload your own image, and you can bypass this node. If you bypass it, it becomes text to video, so it's not going to take any information from this node at all. It'll go completely off the prompt. We can also add a last frame. Right now, we're only using a first frame, but later on, I'll show you how to add another one. This node is for resolution. Right now, the aspect ratio is set to 16:9, that's horizontal. And you can select all kinds of aspect ratios in here. Square, vertical, there are lots of options. And this is where you decide the duration of the video. I've set it to 5, so we get a 5-second video. If you set it to 10, you'd be asking for a 10-second video. Now, one thing to know here, and this caught me out. The number you type isn't exactly what you get. There's a math node that snaps your seconds up onto the frame grid. The model actually supports at 24 frames per second. So 5 seconds gives you 124 frames, which is really 5.17 seconds. 2 seconds gives you 56 frames, so 2.33. Anything in between rounds up to the next reachable length. So treat the duration box as a request, not the result. And since this workflow is built for low VRAM, I'm not going to crank it up too high for now. And as usual, this is the node where you write your prompt. Steps is the main speed dial on 8 GB. That's why I named the node that way. Right now, steps is set to 20 and denoise is 1. Down here in Create Video, the frame rate is 24 frames per second. And next to it, the bit depth is set to 8. And finally, this is Save Video where your output lands. So let me upload an image and show you. Let's try with this one. In the prompt, I'm going to say, low angle tracking shot, following a man pacing across a misty open field. He halts and casts his gaze skyward as storm clouds fracture. Enormous stone-skinned giants plunge through the upper atmosphere, slamming hard into the earth with massive debris exploding outward. So that part is the visual, the scene, and then this part down here is for the sound. I prompt them separately. I just write the word audio and then describe whatever I want the sound to have. And now I'll hit run. I'm on low VRAM, so the time to generate is going to be a bit longer. It's 5 seconds, so this will take something like 5 to 10 minutes. So this workflow is designed around offloading, the dynamic VRAM management. Without that, it would crash instantly with out of memory. Because it's set up to stream the weights. It's still slow, but it's safe to run on low VRAM. When you launch it, there's also 0.9 GB of VRAM held back for everything else. So if you're running the workflow and you've got a browser open at the same time, that reserve means the generation doesn't crash. It's there to prevent out of memory. For steps while you're testing, you can drop it down to 12 or 14. And the same with duration, set it to 3 or so the first time when you're just testing an aspect ratio or whatever you want to check. That way, the generation comes back faster. But for a normal generation with an acceptable result, 20 is where you want to be. I'm not saying less than 20 is unusable, but 20 is the sweet spot. It's not too high and not too low. Test with different step counts and see the result. Running the same prompt again is much faster than changing the prompt, because the encoded prompt gets cached. When you change the prompt, it's a fresh prompt, and it has to start from the very beginning. But when you only change the seed, the text encoder doesn't have to run again on reading what you wrote. That saves a lot of time. If you want to run the same prompt but see different versions of it, so keep the prompt and the input image the same, or if you're running without an image, just the same prompt and change the seed. The text encoder doesn't have to work again. Once it knows what you want, it holds on to that and it won't go back and restart from the beginning. So use the seed if you want to see different versions of that video. Now the video is generated. It took more than 10 minutes on 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Let's see what we got. It looks smooth, and the sound effects are great too. No morphing, no artifacts, it looks very high quality. Compared to LTX 2.3, this is a lot better because you're getting a good result straight away without having to generate a lot, where a few are great and the rest are unusable. So I'll hit run again, and I get this. Every generation is usable. So this time let me add dialogue as well, and see whether the dialogue comes through cleanly in the video. I've added dialogue to the prompt. Let's see. You can increase the duration and see how it goes. But on 8 gigabytes of VRAM, it takes too much time. So I prefer staying at 5 seconds. So now the video's ready.
Get inside. They are coming down.
And it says exactly what I prompted. Now with this current workflow, if you want multiple characters, you have to describe each of them in the prompt. There's no speaker field and no character slot on this node. It takes a prompt plus your keyframes, and that's it. So description is the only handle you have. Identify people by appearance rather than by name, because the model has no idea who Marcus is, but it does understand the man in the yellow shirt. Make them visually distinct, because two similar looking people in similar clothes will bleed into each other. There's another way, where instead of describing, you bind a line to a specific character directly. That's the Ref2 VA model. Reference to video audio, and ComfyUI already ships the node for it. It gives you tagged references up to 9 reference images, 3 reference videos, and 3 reference audio clips. So you write something like picture 1 turns to picture 2 and says, and then the line. That's a structural binding rather than a descriptive hope. And the audio reference can even condition how someone sounds, which is the closest thing you get to casting a voice. The cost is another 21 gigabyte model file. The text encoder and both VAEs are shared, so that's the only new download. With the current workflow, what we do is assign it through the description. So from this workflow, if we want to add a last frame, we double-click on the canvas and search for load image. Once you've added that node, you wire it into last frame on the MiniMax H3 image to video node. There's already a last frame input. The workflow is built to support it. We just hadn't added the node until now. And from there, it becomes first frame to last frame. You can change the prompt and the dialogue accordingly. One thing worth knowing, the first frame gets stretched to the canvas, and the last frame gets center cropped to it. So that's how you add a last frame if you want to work first frame to last frame. So this workflow is built for 8 gigabytes. It's for low VRAM, and because of that, I don't want to add more features. They'd work, but they'd take time. In the next one, I'll try to find other approaches that are friendlier to low VRAM, so we can get more features in. I'll try to modify this or build another workflow that fits more features into 8 gigabytes, including longer durations, 20 seconds or more. So we'll see. I'll try to figure that out. This is the first workflow, and it already looks pretty amazing. The generations are usable, and this is really the first model I've seen that runs on low VRAM, where every generation comes back with a good result. With LTX 2.3, which also runs on low VRAM, you have to generate a lot to get something usable. With this, every generation is usable. The only downside is the time it takes. But the quality is very good, even running on very low VRAM. And it's really, really incredible. So I've dropped the steps down to 15 and the duration to 2 seconds. Same prompt, same dialogue.
Get inside, they are coming down.
And look at this. It still gives you a watchable scene, and it completes the dialogue even in that short a time. 2 seconds. Other models just aren't able to do this. It shows how good it is at following the prompt and the dialogue. And now, still at 2 seconds, let me bypass the input image node and hit run. So this is being used as text to video now.
Get inside, they are coming down.
And you can still see the dialogue is delivered and the scene and the outfit match what's in the prompt. So we need to keep running more of these and find some more good features. You can download this workflow for free using the link in the description. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming tutorials. Running low VRAM or new to ComfyUI, check out my step-by-step guide video to get started with cloud GPUs and ComfyUI. Lastly, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the next video.